Good day. This is Channel Seeker, my creator. Let me share some stuff with you today. Uh, there was some channels I would really like to put out there for putting out misleading titles, but I'm going to talk about the channels today that I really like. And although each channel is a little different, they form a conversation. They're like words in a sentence. So first, we'll start with Phoenix Moon. She explains how your genealogy is important, how knowing it is important to knowing the laws that apply to you. And let me turn the TV in the background. So, alright, so Phoenix Moon talks about genealogy and how it's important to understand what happened in the past to plot your course in the future. Darkman X also talks about so many things that it's hard to quantify him into one basic sentence. He's very protective of his channel and he doesn't like anyone to defame it in any way. So I'm not gonna say much more than other than he advocates for knowing yourself, for knowing your history, and for doing right by yourself. Both he and Phoenix Moon advocates knowing your personal genealogy, your personal family members. Now, they change their contracts just like anyone else, and some people say you can't save yourself with contracts, which is a bit of a mixed statement. Now, some people say you got to go to the UN. Some people say the UN is evil. Now, I'm gonna go to another channel. This is StopTheCrime.net. Now, this is an old white. Well, yeah, this is an old. Is she really a white woman? You know, depending on title, but this is Deborah Tavares' YouTube page. Oh, well, this is Deborah Tavares' YouTube page, and she shows how the government and governments in general break their own laws. How the United Nations breaks their own. Well, no, and she shows how the United Nations breaks their own rules, and that they're in war, that they're at war with certain groups of people, mostly the public. This is Lex Will. He shows how, in general, white people break their own laws and are at war with most of the planet. So my problem with usually truthers are white people who are truthers. They really can't say it's them. They just shift all the white people into that evil category. When the problem is that it's their system as a whole. It's usually their system as a whole is that's doing a lot of this, a lot of the that's creating a lot of problems. But I can't blame them for not wanting to call their people entirely evil. But that's basically what's happening. So basically, you have white YouTubers who come online and reveal that their governments and organizations are doing evil. And you have Lexwell who also shows that, hey, you have these white governments who are basically doing evil. So the whole point of changing your changing your standing, or properly, no, rather properly correcting your standing, not status. This whole thing is about your standing, your rights, and the responsibilities you have, or the responsibilities others have to you, and their rights to you. Your rights to yourself, others' rights to you, and your rights to others. So, some people say, well, the law can't save you. It's not about the law saving you. It's about you saving yourself. And the law, it really is about learning how to form agreements and form contracts with people. Most of us, we don't understand how to form agreements with people, and then we get into arguments and disputes, and then we have to rely on government, and then government uses that as an excuse to say they own you. So I'm not explaining this properly, but Darmanic and Phoenix will say, hey, look up your genealogy so you can properly correct your contracts and you go back to what you were originally. So you go back to what you were originally, and then if you want to go to something else new, then you do that. You're just gonna jump from one thing into being new. And this is because of the way the legal contracts and constitutions and treaties have been set up. Lex will, for an example, StopTheCrime.net show, hey, you have these Lex will and StopTheCrime.net show that you have these governments, these organizations who aren't governments, businesses, and basically other kinds of societies. Some of them are secret societies, and they find all sorts of ways to circumvent your rights and to wage all out war on you. Now, I am making this video longer than it needs to be. I'm gonna go on and do 2 other videos. Bye bye.